cannot just build a fence here. This is a violation of the homeowner's agreement, and you are blocking access.
I am aware of the regulations. The fence stays.
Blue strobe splashed across my garage as a tow truck backed up to my driveway, exhaust mixing with the cold 5 a.m. air and the sharp smell of fresh asphalt. I stepped out in house shoes and saw it, a brown, creaky, 1974-style wood fence bolted straight across my concrete like a cartoon trap. Nails still warm. A bright orange HOA notice flapped on it like a tongue. Violation for parking your own car, it said. Over the fence, Karen from the board grinned under a visor, waving her clipboard. Move along, sir, policy is policy. My coffee steamed in my hand, going bitter. I asked the tow guy his time. He said 5:12 a.m. I looked at the screws, the posts, the paint that did not match anything on our block. It wasn't a mistake. It was a flex. Here's what this fight was about, plain and simple. HOA built a 1974-style fence across the driveway. Too bad I am the judge. Not the judge for them, not for this case, but a judge who reads rules like recipes and knows when someone skipped an egg. I told Karen we had a recorded easement in our deed. She smirked and tapped the notice with a pen. Board revised common area use on May 3, 2024, she said. Effective today. My neighbor Tim peeked from behind his blinds like a spooked cat. Another neighbor started filming and then stopped when Karen glared. It felt like a cold wind in church. I tried again. We can talk. She said we already voted. You were outvoted 10-0. 10? There were 7 homes on our street. I walked the fence line, slow and calm. Look, I said, the fire hydrant is blocked. The tow guy shrugged. He smelled like diesel and worry. I called the board number. Straight to voicemail. I knocked on the clubhouse door at 9:00 a.m. when they opened. The receptionist slid me a form and looked past me like I was a wall. The board meeting at noon? Full. No public comment. I stood in the lobby while my phone buzzed. Another notice. Then a fine for $300. Then a complaint count, 13 in 2 days, all rubber stamped by the board. Tim texted me, don't push it, she calls the cops for everything. Timeline item 1 April 5 at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. I said that out loud to the empty room. It sounded simple. True. So I drew a line I would not cross, no yelling, no drama in the street, no hacksaws at midnight. Proper channels only. I set my coffee down, opened my laptop, and started a plan. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. I printed the plat map, the utility easement, the fire code page, and my deed. I pulled public minutes from the HOA site, then filed a records request with the city. When the download finished, the file landed with 63 pages. In it, a gem, the board had tried to change the common area map without a vote of members, and they called the drainage swale a courtyard. I measured the fence posts and chalked the hydrant clearance in big numbers on the sidewalk. I drafted a quiet motion for an emergency injunction, filed it with the clerk at 3:10 p.m., and sent a copy to their counsel. Blocking a recorded easement is illegal. It is not a gray area. It is a stop sign. The payoff came the next morning under a blue sky that felt like it was watching. The city inspector rolled up first. Then the fire marshal. Then a patrol car, lights off. I did not wear my robe. I wore a plain polo and stood on my grass. Karen marched over with her visor and 3 board members, all whispering. The inspector asked for the permit. She said there was a grandfather clause. He asked for the paper. She handed him a wrinkled flyer from 1974 that looked like it came from a bingo hall. He read, paused, and looked at the hydrant chalked clearance. The marshal lifted his radio. A neighbor lifted a phone. Then I gave them a copy of my filings and the plat. This is a public safety obstruction, the marshal said. The officer wrote a citation like he was filling a grocery list. The inspector checked his tablet and said, clear as a bell, tear it down. Neighbors poured out like it was a block party. Cameras went up. Someone said live on Elmwood Drama. Comments flowed in fast. The fence is a time machine, blink twice if you're hostage, I'm calling this fence a Zilla. The tow guy from yesterday honked twice and gave me a thumbs up. Karen tried to stage a speech, but the fire marshal asked her to step aside. The board's lawyer arrived breathless at 11:06 a.m., tie crooked. He reviewed the emergency filing and went pale when he hit the exhibit with the fake vote. He found the meeting where a quorum was claimed with 7 names, but 3 names were snowbirds gone till June. He swallowed. The officer explained the fines, 1 for blocking the hydrant, 1 for working without a permit, 1 for tampering with an easement. Total penalties recommended, $3,200, pending hearing. The crew unscrewed the fence. Each plank came off like a confession. By Monday, the court date was set. I was not on the case. I would never sit on my own street. Another judge handled it, and he did not need my help. He read the record, watched the videos, and listened while Karen tried to say the fence was art. The judge found the board in violation, voided the fines they hit me with, and ordered restitution of $900 for towing threats and my filing costs. He also ordered a special election. The recording went online and racked up 22,000 views by Wednesday. At the next HOA meeting, the room was full. People who never speak lined up. Tim read a short note with his hands shaking. He said we can follow rules and still be human. Karen lost her seat in 7 minutes. The board attorney resigned that night. The new board sent a letter of apology that did not sound like it came from a bot. Now the driveway is open. Kids chalk stars where the posts left scars. The hydrant is clear. I still wake up early, but it's for a jog, not a fight. Karen is still on the street, but she keeps her visor low and walks her dog on the other side. The HOA set up a sunshine folder with agendas, and they hired a real manager who reads the bylaws. We got a block potluck on June 1st with folding tables and a grill that squeaks like an old song. I brought lemonade. Tim brought a blueberry pie that broke in half and still tasted perfect. Peace feels small and real. The rules feel like guardrails again, not weapons. If you hear a soft tap on our street now, it's a kid drawing a rocket, not a hammer in the dark. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.